two teams met was back in January. It was the BYU win. It was their...
So Ariel Jackson with her hands on the ball, immediately getting 2 feet in the paint.
Over the last two. Cincinnati dealing with a different starting lineup for BYU compared to the last time these two teams played. Rose Bubakar is in. So Cincinnati getting a little bit smaller without a true post player outside of Hayes. One of the best three-point shooters in the country.
Well, in game 1 versus the Bearcats, it was Woolston.
Did make it a 2. Her foot was on the line, so we're tied at 2. It was not a 3. And there's Bubakar. Amber Whiting said that's one of the more underrated values of Gustin. Everyone talks about the points and the double-doubles, but the reason this team is so good at shooting is because...
The point of emphasis for the Cougars.
Ariel Jackson gets downhill and gets fouled. Chance for 3 at the line. First 10 games of the season due to off-season knee procedure. Gustin wide open, doesn't realize it at first, and Hayes swats it out of midair. Between Cincinnati and BYU, Rose Bubakar getting smacked in the face.
Bubakar will bounce right back.
Well, BYU basketball after that foul, even though the play does not get upgraded to the flagrant. Smiler lines up the 3.
And free throws.
Jackson, the pull-up, rattles it in. And also 2 freshmen, and both very, very good in their first year in the Big 12. Lauren Davenport nails the 3. Braylon Milton, 72% at the line this year. Good crossover by Whiting, and gets all the way to the cup. That certainly helps to play around all those really good shooters. Jackson nails the 3.
When not only your play elevates, but the teammates around you have play that elevates, you know your leadership.
Jenks too short. Williams the offensive rebound.
Out of second chance opportunities.
Gustin hits the long 2, does a lot of her damage right around the rim, but she will extend it out to 10 or 15 feet. Down low to Hayes. Wild shot at the end of it.
Hayes seems to be bothered by the length. And Woolston again.
Out to Calvert.
I mean, that's just so impressive. And then there's a list of players, 5 shooters from out of the break and being in a zone. BYU showing 2-3 on the other end, and Cincinnati.
Davenport, the left, battling down low right now. She is 6'1". Attention for the rebounds, but more of the physical presence. And this goes 1 of 2. Cuts it to a 2-point deficit. Woolston hits the 3. Just a tick shy of 8 points per game, 32% from 3. And statistically, the best free
on the team during the non-conference in free throw attempts behind Jillian Hayes.
Out to Davenport. 4 to shoot. Woolston spinning, laying it off. Gustin. Great find to Gustin. Jackson, just talked about her. When available, has either been starting or the first post player off the bench.
Well, Thomas, another backup center that the Bearcats.
8 points for Jackson, so the backcourt is combined for 17. Too easy for Lauren Gustin.
That's a nice read. Well, in game 1, Cincinnati had 13 offensive. BYU showing a lot more motion offensively.
They trust playing with 2. Cincinnati again goes under the screen, and Hayes on the drive. Banks it in, high off the window. Kick out, Woolston. Way outside the arc, and it's a little...
When you combine that with the rebounding of Lauren Gustin, Cincinnati not back in transition. BYU finding Augustin. We time and field. She just does a simple...
Exposed. Katrina Merriweather felt they cleaned that up, but a missed assignment there. Jenks doesn't have the answer, and her tough day continues. Whiting, high off the window. As your mother, I'm sure they've run some drills on the backyard hoop set every now and then. Jackson. Woolston answers right back.
To play with and for your mom and have all the family just be able to support.
But not playing under the microscope with all that pressure that comes with that daughter dynamic.
So Ariel Jackson, a lot of momentum straight at the basket. I like how Reagan Jackson complements.
Both of Reagan's parents played at Texas Wesleyan.
Honors that are coming up. Court.
Can't lose Woolston in transition.
Well, Woolston right now has all the offensive game that BYU. The other thing Cincinnati can do is right here, push in transition, run the court. She's physical, and she plays so hard.
Cincinnati not finding the shooters. That's Smiler.
Smiler, a 50% three-point shooter for the Cougars.
0 of 10 today. Finally, the other thing that stands out, AB, 25%.
The Big 12. But for this half, BYU is getting to shoot 50%, and for the game, almost 40% from the three.
Gustin.
Cincinnati needs to find a way to get in sync.
Not there for a couple of screens. Gets all the way in, but blocked by Smiler. The defensive stopper comes up with one there for the Cougars.
Rebounding and free throws are vital to everything. You go back to the...
Goes to Cincinnati for not fouling very much. BYU has a couple players in foul trouble. So you have to tip the cap to Cincinnati, but definitely something to keep in.
But yes, T.T. Jenks knocks the ball away from Bubakar, goes in transition.
Gets the steal and score to make it a single-digit game.
BYU now looking a little flustered coming out of the press, but not.
Out to Williams. She has not scored until now.
Well, right on time for Malaya Williams.
Cincinnati down 7. They were down by as many as 13 entering this quarter. Another steal. Jenks again. Gets her miss.
Don't think that Cincinnati's going to be able to get a big run on them with the way they're playing defense.
Good look away by Whiting. Gets
Whiting for BYU.
Williams trying to get hot here in the fourth. Banks that one in. Smiler shows it and floats it in. Uses her way outside.
Ariel Jackson, she's the one that Cincinnati typically has.
Woolston, she's been quiet since the great third, but spins that one in. What a move.
And in transition, Gustin immediately sprinting on the rim run.
For the Cougars. Goes without saying, Cincinnati needs a bucket. Hayes falls down. No.
In rhythm.
18 points, 17 rebounds for...
Now stepping up, rising to the occasion for what Cincinnati needs to try to climb their way back in and get this. Whiting, of course, in this conversation. She runs and sets the tone for BYU.
Clarissa Craig gonna lead the break after the steal. And Cincinnati cannot that feet set for the three.
So we've had a stretch where it was just bucket shots that are just thrown up at the rim.
Hayes through the double team. Whiting a couple of dribbles through traffic.
With the ball in the hands of their freshman point guards.
Good backdoor cut. Smiler misses, but Gustin bails her out. Cincinnati needs some baskets. They need them very quickly. Down low to Hayes. Can't get the contested layup, but gets that one to go.
Effort by BYU. We've talked a lot about Whiting, and then the hustle of Smiler and the shooting of that.
At this point for Cincinnati, when you're down by 8 points, you have to hope that BYU misses free throws, which Whiting does not, and continue to play the foul game.
Exactly. Cincinnati going a little offense defense here, knowing that they can call. There's always yes.
Hand to the face for Malaya Williams, can't knock it down. Gustin has the rebound.
And timeout management.
A question for you right now, AB. Jillian Hayes wasn't on the floor for that last offensive possession.
To get some reps for Delaney Snyder and Abby Holtman.
Smiler with a block. A win over number 18 Baylor, and now a road win to sweep the season series against Cincinnati. 69-57, the Cougars pull away with the win.